Alright, Shalom. Allah to start, I'm saying, call Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harvard Kodash, my mom. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone of my elder here one as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, the sincerity and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Right? And I brought that out to go to coincide with this article right here. And it says World War III has already begun, claims Russian state TV. So now we know that, World War III kind of already kicked off from like a proxy war and an economical war type phase, but it hasn't really kicked off an all-out, full-scale war like how by Shimmy outside intends for it to come out. In the midst of World War III, Yahweh Shai is going to show up with guns ablazing, with lasers ablazing. And this us seeing articles like this and signs like this come to pass is we know that our salvation is nearer than once we believed. I'm gonna paraphrase it. I messed that up, but yeah. So we look forward to seeing these things happening in the earth. It's a sign of relief. Like a little bit more pressure, like gets lifted up more and more as more pressure being placed on these other nations and 2/3 of our people, because they're not looking forward to what's to come. They want this type of society to stick around. But the ones that are the elect, right, that are of Yahweh by Shema Al-Shai, patiently wait, suffering for this place to be destroyed, and this kingdom to be destroyed, and the righteous kingdom set upon earth, kingdom of Yahweh by Shema Al-Shai. This is Revelations 11 and 15. It says, the seventh angel sounded, and there was a great voice in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of the Lord and of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, and he shall reign forever and ever. Right. And that's what we're waiting on. Because what does it say? He has many crowns upon his head. He's already done conquered the lion that chased the eagle out of the woods. And said, arise ye kings no more. So the conquering lion of Judah is ultimately going to be the one to take down these nations. But who is being set up to take down the beast, which is NATO? Well, a conglomerate of NATO, the United States, and European Union. It says World War III has already begun, claims Russian state TV. An ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin has said on state TV that World War III is already underway. Vladimir Solovyov, a state TV host on one of the most well-known figures, in Kremlin-backed media, made the remark on the Russian One channel. An expert of the broadcast was shared on X, formerly known as Twitter, by Anton Gerashchenko, a former advisor to Ukraine's Minister of Internal Affairs. Russia has no intentions in any real negotiations of peace. It says it is bloodthirsty, wrote that guy Gerashchenko on Tuesday. They want blood, man. There's another article I gotta do. The elder put the video in the chat. It's about so I did a lesson that's talking about how if any of the weapons being supplied to Ukraine by other nations, right, touch Russian soil, Russia is going to answer it with a nuclear threat, right? And so the video that the elder shared was some weapons. I want to say that was supplied by the United States, right, were used against to attack Russia on Russian soil. All right. So what is that? That's grounds for Russia to what they want to defend themselves. They've been defending themselves since day one. This has been going on way back since like 2000. Well, really since the fall of the Soviet Union in 1992, but like it heating up in 2014 when they annexed Crimea, and it went on from there. But that annexation of Crimea is what made Russia get a little bit more aggressive. No, made NATO get a little bit more aggressive because they seen Russia get more aggressive. But what they were only doing was protecting themselves. And what going according to prophecy, forming back the old Soviet Union, the old USSR. You know, it says, you want World War III? You are already in it, Russian propagandist Soloviev. Russia has no intentions of any real negotiation or peace. It is bloodthirsty. There's another article talking about it. It says, Kremlin propagandists have routinely warned of an incoming world war. Ties between Washington and Moscow have become increasingly strained over Putin's decision to launch a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Russian officials and guests on state TV regularly call for strikes on U.S. soil and the West over aid and weapons provided by the Joe Biden administration, and they're providing more money and weapons too. That man, the elder showed another video how, you know, how the whole system is with the amount of aid, the money that's been spending, they've lost like $500 billion somewhere in the system, and they can't find it. So that's the money. That's money that they needed to supply the United States government with because of all the funding they've been giving to Ukraine and Israel. So now America doesn't even have any money to do its own business because it gave it all away. So therefore now the money, the banks don't have any now. The little stash away money set aside for rainy days. These banks are going, like the FDIC, they're going into that fund looking for some sort of bailout. So you're going to see another crisis happen. We're already in somewhat of a recession. This might lead to a depression. And that's when all hell is going to break loose. So America's not even financially stable to go to war. They're going to have to borrow money from motherfucking Europe. But that's going to put America in a real fucked up position. America's going to be looking like a third world country. The dollar's going to go to be to amount to as much as about a peso, a Mexican peso. That's what the value of the dollar is going to be. It says the propagandists continue this rhetoric in this latest triad against the West this week. He called for strikes on military targets in NATO nations in response to recent decisions by some member states to authorize Ukraine to use donated weapons to attack targets inside Russia. Just spoke about that before. And that's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. That's going to be especially, man, listen. Whoever uses the missiles or whatever they use that's been supplied by these other nations, when Russia does their investigation to see who supplied it to them, whoever supplied it to it ultimately becomes a target. And you know, the United States did a lot of supplying. It says, in addition, since we realize that the task is set and is ongoing, there is no plan B, the destruction of Russia. It means we must create all conditions for infiltrating colossal damage to the manpower and equipment of NATO troops stationed anywhere in the world, Soloviev said. This means we must support all proxy movements, supplying them with everything they need, no matter where in the world they are located, he added. All right, so we're already in a proxy form of World War III, you know, but it's ultimately going to, um, you know, be a hot World War III. All right, what to say? The Lord said He'll gather an assembly of nations, and who are they going to come against? Babylon. He's going to destroy them all the way to the sides of the pit, all the way from Babylon to Europe. All right, this Isaiah 14:9. It says, "Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations," to go against Babylon, go against the West, really. But NATO and the European Union, they're gonna back away from Babylon. They're gonna leave Babylon high and dry. They're gonna leave America high and dry. America's gonna have to fend for itself, and America's gonna be destroyed off the map, man. See, America thought they'd prop themselves up in a place where they ain't gonna feel none of the threat that they put on the earth. None of the violence that they put on the earth, they don't feel like they're gonna reap that. But that's not what the Lord says. Isaiah 14:9 says, "Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nation. All these shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?" And we're witnessing that happening right now. "Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worms is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee." Right? So America's starting to decay. All right? Being devoured. Where's the other one I want to get? Hold on. Let me go back up to verse 6. Isaiah 14:6 says, "He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruleth the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindered." Right? Like, because America doesn't think that all the bloodshed they did on the earth, you know, all the violence that they did on these other nations, America doesn't think that's going to come back on them. But Yahweh Shimon Shai has another thought coming. It's going to come directly back on them, man. The Lord ain't finna play with them. The Lord is going to destroy this place. And you're witnessing it being set up right now. All right? World War III is right around the corner, man. And these are the things that need to happen in order for us to reach our salvation. And, you know, so when we see these things happen upon the earth, look up, because, you know, our salvation is nearer than we once believed. All right? Lord, when this lesson will edify and serve the purpose of that, like Sekah, Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakah Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honor to the elder apostle, the great millstone, and my elder Heroin as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth to sincerity and truth. And peace and blessing to the men and women and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.